Hello and welcome back to my channel, Miami Star Tarot. Thank you for visiting my channel, Aquarius. This reading is for you. This is basically a love reading. If I see some sexual energy, I will read it. Okay, I know that it's titled sexual energy, but it's not always very sexual. So if you're looking for highly sexualized information, this is not where it's going to happen. Okay, unfortunately, I have had people not be happy with me because I wasn't, I think, sexual enough for them, and it wasn't juicy enough. So it's not the purpose of this video. It's just talking about love and some sexual energy that you could be expecting to happen for the month of June 2021, give or take. I think anytime between now and early summer is the intention of the video, although this could be timeless as well. When you see it, it's when it applies. This is for Aquarius for June 2021. These cards are very difficult to shuffle, which is why I'm shuffling a little awkwardly. So bear with me. We will get some good shuffling. It clears the energy. I've done a lot of readings and it cleared the energy out of them. So just give me a minute. This is for Aquarius. Okay, so let me get a few shuffles this way for Aquarius. Oops. A lot of flyers going on. Okay, let me cut the deck and we will get started, Aquarius. And I am not going to read them upside down, so I am going to turn them. You got the Chariot, Three of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. You have the Wheel of Fortune, Page of Cups, and the Nine of Swords, and your overall energy is the Nine of Swords. All right, I'm going to pull that two nines. Got quite a bit of swords. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just going to pull a clarifier for the whole read. Okay. Oops, that is way too many. There's a lot going on with you. Okay, a lot of thinking, and I think there is some confusion going on as well. Okay. So let's get to the bottom of it. I could have taken these two, but I'm not feeling them. I want one. I feel it'll be a more accurate clarification if I just get one card. And there it is. All right, there's a lot going on here, a lot of changes. Okay. Ace of Swords. You are, something is very, very deeply rooted in your mind, okay? You are starting a new journey in your life, okay? And I get that from the first card in your spread, which is the Chariot, that's kind of moving along what's going on with you. You have the Nine of Swords, and it's causing you some grief. This is a card of depression, anxiety, nervousness, and making things difficult for you to just day to day. It's making things very, very difficult for you. Okay, so there are some changes I think that are happening in your life, and some paths and some journeys I think that you are, whether you're ready or not, you're kind of experiencing them. I did pull the clarifier. The clarifier, I think, is going to easily help identify, clarify some of these things here. I think mentally you're kind of going through some changes, Aquarius, okay? And the changes have a lot to do with the Three of Swords, which is emotional issues with the Nine of Swords here that are causing you some grief. There may be some heartbreak, maybe a third party kind of a situation. Three's a crowd, kind of. Mentally, three's a crowd for you. And I think that that's what's causing some of this anxiety with you, because you have a third party involved. And because this is your Chariot, I feel that you're the person that is experiencing this third party, like this mental anguish. It could be that your partner is dragging in a third party, or you are dragging in a third party, okay? But either way, the Chariot is moving. And in this case, usually the Chariot doesn't move unless they are ready to move. You are the conductor of your own life, and you don't move things unless you are ready for them. But in this case, I feel like the Chariot is just kind of prematurely moving itself without your permission, okay? And that is what's causing you some mental anxiety. It's what's causing you, I think, to maybe lose a little bit of sleep, or it's causing you some type of like willpower, losing willpower and control, okay? And it feels like when you're like, if you're driving, I've never driven a horse out of control, but when you're driving something that you didn't expect to move, it kind of pushes you in a fight or flight situation. And I think that you're trying to navigate through these changes, but you don't know how. And I think that's kind of where I'm headed with this. Like, you weren't expecting these changes to happen, but yet here they are, and you are trying to navigate through them. There is somehow involved in all of this, whether it's you or your partner. There is a third person involved, a third person that is causing some of this anguish to you, if it's your partner having it or you are having it yourself, and it's causing you, either way, it's causing you anxiety, and it's causing you, I think, to have to really practice control and willpower, okay? You also have the Knight of Swords here, which is more or less an impulsive, fast-moving energy. The Knight of Swords is the only one that sometimes doesn't think things throughly. They just kind of do. Full of ambition, it's action-oriented. It's even though it's not thinking too much, sometimes when they do something that's kind of brash. I think what this is kind of doing is it's showing how your mind is kind of processing things, okay? I feel like you are trying to maintain a level of control, and it's getting kind of difficult for you to do that, all right? You do have, as the clarifier, the Ace of Wands, and it looks like it's just whatever it is that is bothering you, or this person that's kind of entering the picture, is causing you to overthink things, okay? Sometimes it's hard for you not to think about what's going on. It's one of those things where you think about it even when you don't want to think about it, and the more you try not to think about it, the more you think about it. So I know that's I said a lot there, but it's really I mean, this is kind of where you are right now with the Nine of Swords. It's just, things are just overwhelming. I think that's a really good word to describe. Your feelings are kind of overwhelming right now, okay? You are not in a place right now where you feel you're being very successful. Now, with emotions and things like that, where this third party is coming, I feel like right now, if I was to put this card right here, it's more in the thinking stages or in the process stages if you're the one that's involved in it. If you're the one that's not involved in it, I feel like it's just, you are obsessively thinking about it. And it's causing you anxiety. So if you are the victim, let's put it that way. Like if you're a girl, a woman, and your boyfriend brought in a third person or they cheated, it's just something that you cannot get off your mind, and it's causing you this kind of anxiety, okay? If you are the person doing it, I feel like this third person is consuming you in a way that it's making things very difficult for you because you can't stop thinking about it, okay? You also have in this bottom row the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. And the Wheel of Fortune is, it could go both ways. It could be opportunities that arise, a new opportunity. The Wheel of Fortune is always changing. It's about your destiny. A turning point also changes in your life as well. So, I mean, when I look at this, I almost feel like there are some changes that are inevitable coming into your life. And some of those changes could include a new type of opportunity in love, whether you're looking for it or not. And it can also indicate more or less curiosity in love, more than deep-rooted love. But there is something that is striking your interest, okay? And I feel like because the Wheel of Fortune is always turning, that this could be something that's just naturally happening to you as a human being. Like it's just naturally happening. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything bad, but it's just you're thinking a lot. And this is where this card, again, if I move it here, it's just something that's really on your mind. Okay. And it could just be someone that just intrigues you, you know. But at the same time, you know, with this Three of Swords here, like it seems like this is a little bit more than just intriguing. It could actually even just be a little bit of a sparkle that is hard for you to let go. And I think that you recognize it for what it is, okay? Because it seems like even with acknowledging that this is just maybe just the beginning stage, or it could be just a flight feeling, could be crushes, you know, it could be anything like that that is not taken root. It's not something that has happened. It's not something that is, you know, currently going and getting deeper and deeper. It could just be, you know, kind of more wishful. There's a pig that flies. Maybe it's something that in your mind you're just wondering about a lot, like you can't stop thinking about it. You think about it a lot, okay? But, you know, with the Ace of Swords, again, it's like the beginning stages. I don't think for some of you that anything has happened at this point, but it's just things that are just kind of floating around your mind. What if? Maybe I wonder what would happen if, like it's more things like that, but it's definitely on your mind more than you want it to be. Then you have the Knight of Wands here, which is, you know, this card has so many different definitions, but I think at this point right now, where you are, it's making you, I think that this Nine of Wands, because you're feeling these Nine of Swords, it's like you're on the defense about things. Okay, like you're constantly kind of trying to see and trying to protect yourself. from things that you perceive as possibly being like temptation or something like that. Like you're constantly trying to keep yourself from, I think, falling into the wrong ideas or going down the wrong path, that you're constantly on guard. And I think it's because your mind is so strong and you really know what you want and what you don't want to happen in your life, that your anxiety is causing you to kind of put up a wall around yourself, which is a good defense mechanism for you, Aquarius, because you are one of those very, very deep thinkers and you know what you want and what you don't want. Okay. But I do feel like there is like a kind of a strange-ish situation with the third party there. And if you're the recipient of that, I think that that's why you have your guard up. Like you're constantly having it up and you're not wanting to, it's almost like you can't relax. I think that's the easiest way to describe it, Aquarius. You're finding it very hard to relax. I'm not seeing a lot of, I'm going to see if I can pull a sexual energy for you, because I think you and one other person didn't really have a lot of sexual energy coming through. But maybe it's because you just don't let it happen. I did pull the World for sexual energy, and it seems like if I want to put that into your spread, it could simply mean that you think about a new person, or you think about the beginning of something new with sexual energy, but doesn't mean that it's happening. So I'm not getting a lot of sexual energy for you, Aquarius. It's more of if you are the victim or you are the person who is the recipient of a third party coming in through your partner, then I think that you just have your guard up and you're having a really hard time navigating around that. And you're constantly thinking of like, well, what if, what if I did this? What if I did that? What if I moved on? Possibly even looking at a person and thinking like, what would life be with them? And things like that. If you are the one causing this, I feel like this is in a very mental stage for you. It is not action oriented at this point, even though you do have the Knight of Swords, but everything else indicates that you are controlling that Knight of Swords. Okay. What you're not able to control very well at times is where your heart and your mind is going, like the chariot that just started going before you were ready for it to move. It just moved on its own, and you're constantly trying to, control the chariot. So, all right, well, that's all I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I would love to hear some feedback. All right, thank you very much, Aquarius. Bye-bye.